All right, let's talk about BYU defensive line play. Now, it's been a big part of training camp when Jay Hill, after that very first scrimmage for BYU, came out and said the pass rush looks really good right now, unquote. That was obviously some big news for a number of us out there who've been watching BYU football for the past decade or so without a single guy who's been able to produce double-digit sacks. Now, obviously, that's not the end-all, be-all for a defense, but a lot of us out there, yours truly included, would have given a lot to have an effective pass rush in many of these past seasons for BYU, going back, to 2015, roughly. The nice part is, if this is indeed the case, that BYU has a better pass rush, Jay Hill's defense is going to be that much more ferocious, that much more effective, and just frankly, they're going to be even better than they were a season ago, and we all know how good they were a year ago. I think the bigger point is it looks like as you get Bear Bachmeier, settled in as BYU's quarterback, you're going to need the defense to really lean on these opposing teams and really keep their scores down. And I'm looking at the likes of a Portland State in just under 2 weeks' time. You got Stanford coming in with a full rebuild underway with the Cardinal. Then you got to go to East Carolina, and then your first three Big 12 opponents are considered to be lower bottom half of the Big 12 type teams. There's a major opportunity for BYU's defense to, as I said, really hold these opponents down and allow BYU's offense to kind of find itself, allow Bear Bachmeier to find his footing, and hopefully lead BYU to a number of victories. 6-0 is not out of the realm of possibility in terms of a start for BYU, and they'd be nationally ranked, absolutely, if that were to be the case, leading in to that rivalry game against Utah. But even if they're not, if they're 5-1 and 4-2, I still believe BYU's defense is going to be that much better, and it's going to be aided by a very, very strong defensive line. Now, Keanu Tanuvasa takes headlines. Guys like Logan Latui, Bodie Schoonover have had their moments in training camp. Tausili, Akana, Hunter Clegg, all of them have made impressions. But a guy I think that is getting overlooked in all of this is the man they call JT. His name is John Taumoepeau. I remember many of you might recall he came to BYU by way of Snow College, and he played defensive end before enrolling at BYU, but is now bulked up and is now playing defensive tackle. He had multiple moments down the stretch run of last season where he stood out to me on the football field, but during spring ball this year, and obviously training camp most recently, he's really taken it to another level. And with Justin Kirkland still on the mend, coming back from a knee injury that BYU's been really kind of hemming and hawing on when to expect him back, JT's taking advantage of the opportunity. I fully expect he'll be starting alongside Keanu Tanuvasa in BYU's 4-down alignment on the night of Portland State on August 30th. So how has he done this? How has he ultimately emerged as a key cog for Jay Hill on the defensive line? Well, let's let John Taumoepeau explain that right now on Locked On Cougars.
Looking at this, you came in last year and I think emerged as one of the key cogs along that defensive line. Yeah. What are you looking forward to doing this year alongside guys like Keanu Tanuvasa?
Man, I just look to bringing that athleticism this year. I just look to bring that dominance to the D-line. And, I feel like I can do really big things this year. Just coming to this D-line front, also playing with Keanu, and of course, when we get Justin back and everything,
sure.
Man, I can't wait to dominate with those boys. And I feel like I'm going to bring a lot to the table with my speed and with my power. I feel like we're going to have a lot of sacks this year.
Where do you feel like you improved the most?
I feel like I just improved my technique the most. That's from my feet, my leverage, and my base and everything in my hands, and just the violence I play with now. I feel like I just improve on just my football IQ, not only, but just my IQ playing up front. And I think, that's where I improve the most.
Okay, I got to ask you this. You play alongside him.
Yes,
I've heard a lot about Keanu and how dominant he is.
Yes,
is he as good as advertised?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is. You know, I'm not going to say anything less, but, you know, it's been a very good blessing playing with him, and he is very good. He has taught me a lot, and we both have learned from each other. We both learned from each other how things work over here, and I also took some stuff from him, and he also took some stuff from me. So playing with him is very fun, very competitive, and I love playing with that dude.
What's it like having guys like Sione Puha, Gary Anderson working alongside you on that D-line?
Man, it's a blessing. With those guys, they just have a ton of experience. With a lot of league guys they coach, and you know, just both of them being up at Utah now, being down here, they just have a lot of good experience. Just that's from both of them, and how much people they put out, and the knowledge they know about everything. It's such a huge blessing playing with them and everything. So yeah.
Do you think this defense can be even better this year than it was a season ago?
A lot of love. A lot of love to that defense last year. A lot of love to all the seniors last year, you know, just them being a role model and everything. But I do feel like we are going to make a big run because of this defense. And I feel like we're going to be way more dominant and just all-out good defense.
Where do you feel like, because you experienced the Big 12 last year, you played in that bowl game against Colorado.
Yes, sir.
What's different about this year going into Big 12 play and just the season than it was maybe a season ago?
Man, I think just understanding the competition in the Big 12. I think just understanding what type of athletes we have on the O-line in the Big 12 and how they come to play. They all come play very hard, but just getting that experience last year, I feel way more comfortable this year, and I'm just able to play my football.
You talk about playing with speed.
Yeah.
Did you play some DN growing up at
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You came here as a skinnier lineman, right?
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
What's been the transformation like going from like outside to the interior?
Yeah. So, I've been playing DN all my life.
Okay.
You know, always thought I was a DN guy and all that stuff, but I knew when I was going to come. I'm the Big Four football. I knew I was going to have to move inside. Mm-hmm. So that transition was a little hard at first because, of course, inside you got to be a whole different breed to play inside. A lot of big boys, a lot of contact, a lot of violence up front. So the transformation playing inside was at first very difficult, but of course, playing D-line, you're always just going to have to be me. I feel like me being coached by Gary Anderson and Coach Pohart, they taught me a lot about playing inside, and I have got way better inside and everything, so I feel a lot more comfortable.
There you have it, John Taumoepeau, and a big thank you to him for taking the time to join us here on Locked On Cougars. And you can tell he's got a fun, loving personality, and he just loves playing the game of football. I hope he absolutely goes out there and kills it. Now, when Justin Kirkland is available, obviously there will be a battle for playing time at the defensive tackle position because Justin Kirkland, he's 330, 340 pounds, and John Taumoepeau, he's tipping the scales. I think they list him at 290 pounds. So obviously there's a weight difference there, but John mentions the fact that, he doesn't necessarily have to be the biggest, but he is one of the quickest. He's had to play defensive end my entire life growing up, and I've had to adapt to playing on the interior of the defensive line. The nice part is Jay Hill's got a proven concept of moving guys, bigger defensive ends inside in BYU's defense and them succeeding. Look no further than John Nelson and Blake Mangelson a season ago. I would also expect at points this season, we've heard it from Jay Hill himself, to expect guys like Viliami Opuha as well as Bodie Schoonover as their bigger bodied defensive ends to move inside in a pinch and play some defensive tackle. It's just all about making matchups and making ability for you to obviously make plays as a defensive tackle. And if John Taumoepeau, if he's quicker than some of these offensive linemen he's going up against, that's great. Go make plays in the backfield, make life a little bit easier on guys like Keanu Tanuvasa, who will be the focal point of opposing teams' game plans, because I'll just put it this way. Keanu Tanuvasa, one-on-one in training camp, from what I have seen, is darn near unblockable. And a lot of other Big 12 teams are going up against him are going to learn that hard truth. And I fully expect that's going to eat up double and triple teams on him, allowing John Taumoepeau and the other defensive ends on BYU's roster to have more one-on-one battles, which they absolutely need to win and make life uncomfortable for opposing running backs and, more importantly, quarterbacks, as BYU's defense looks to take yet another step towards greatness this fall.